Hello, I'm Nancy Hohen, Economic Development Director with the Village of New Lenox, and today I have the pleasure of being here with Deb Smetana, our HR Director, so that we can tell you guys a little bit more about the upcoming Job and Resource Fair that we're going to be hosting here at the Village Hall on September 13th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So, Debbie, thanks so much for taking the time to come sit down with me today on this one.
Very, very welcome. It's such a good event that I wanted to be able to share my thoughts on it also.
Last year was a lot of fun working together on this project.
It was a great event, great turnout, and I think we actually accomplished a whole bunch of things.
And we didn't really know what to expect last year. Kind of took on the responsibility of the Job and Resource Fair as part of Sharefest, which obviously is a much larger event that's going to be going on in the village, but this part of it I think really surprised a lot of us.
Oh, it definitely did. The turnout for the different aspects of it was amazing.
Well, we just kind of took a shot at organizing it last year, and now we have the benefit of having gone through that, and we've made changes this year. So the date again is that Friday on September 13th, and since we had some tight physical constraints here at the Village Hall last year and had a much larger group than we really expected, we've expanded things this year.
Right, and we're going to be in the library as well as the Village Hall, which I think will facilitate flow a little bit better, and people will be able to attend more events because we're spread out a little so
more.
to speak.
Right, yeah, and for people that may not be familiar with the location of the Village Hall, it kind of gives us a campus effect because the library is right next door, and people will be able to kind of easily go back and forth between the two buildings. Yeah, so one of the things that I guess I want to make sure that we make clear to everybody are the different things that we're going to have going on. And I think it was such a benefit, well, to me personally and to the event, to have your involvement being our HR director and someone with a really strong career background in human resources, because we were able to do more with this than simply have the companies here for the job seekers to meet with. So we did resume review.
Right, and I think that was extremely well received. There were so many people that took advantage of that service, and actually we could have probably gone a couple more hours, which I know we've expanded it this year from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Right.
because we couldn't get everybody in last year that we wanted to. And now that probably there's a lot of word of mouth about it out there, we expect that it will be very well attended.
Right. Can you share with us a little bit more how that part of the event works?
Okay, people come in and they sign up, and it's a good thing to sign up initially when you get there for that because it books up quickly. But we spend approximately 20 minutes, anybody who's doing the resume review piece, and there are several of us with HR backgrounds from other organizations in the community who are helping out, volunteering their time to do this. And we spend approximately 20 minutes, and hopefully somebody comes in with their resume already set up, and we just kind of critique it and give them suggestions and recommendations. We also let them know about other resources that are available either through the internet or through other organizations.
Right. And those time slots, when you said that they would sign up for a specific time slot, they would do that at the library this year.
Yes,
okay,
because
so
all the resume reviewing will be taking place at the library.
Right, and they would have a one-on-one session with you or one of the other volunteers. So, I mean, that's really some personal attention that they'd have the opportunity for that day.
Right, which is something that not traditionally happens at job fairs.
Right.
So it's a very great service that we're able to provide and help our residents find positions or, get back into the workforce. Many have been out of the workforce for a while, so it kind of brushes up their resumes.
Good, good, and gives them that time to one-on-one ask other questions too, as you said, and you can direct them to other resources. So.
Right, and a lot of times we talk during that time frame about the interview process and what they can expect and maybe some of the things that they should be asking potential employers, because it has to be a job fit both ways.
Right. No, and I think that that's the part that's somewhat intimidating for people. Especially if they haven't been in the job market for a long time and things have changed a lot. So hopefully this helps give them a little confidence in tackling the whole
I think it does, and as a result of what we did last year, we built on that and did resume reviews throughout the year.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's something else important to mention. We called it boot camp for job seekers, and we did kind of a monthly event, either the resume review or a workshop over at the library. So people that are watching this that may be interested in that part of it too will have information on the village's website and the library's website on things that'll be going on outside of the actual job fair
Right,
day.
and that's a good point, because if somebody can't make it that day for whatever reasons, there are opportunities throughout the year to
Right.
take advantage of some of those services.
Right. So at the library, we'll have a registration table, and we'll be able to have people sign up for their resume review time slot. But we're also going to be conducting the seminars, informational seminars throughout the day over at the libraries. One of the things we tried to do with that aspect of the program was to give people a little bit better idea, maybe on some specific industry areas. So we'll be having one workshop on careers in the manufacturing industry. I think there's misinformation out there on that. People think that you go in and you punch out widgets all day, but in essence, it's way more skilled than that. And it comes down to learning how to operate the computers that operate the machines that punch out the widgets. So I think that is a really attractive career path for people that they may not be considering. Likewise, we're going to have someone be able to speak on careers in healthcare, because that seems to be such a hot topic, and what are the different opportunities and what levels of certification or degrees are needed in some of those areas.
Right, and that's an industry that's growing.
Yes, yes, and so we'll have someone here that day to talk about that. You mentioned interview skills, when we're going to have an actual topic, seminar topic on interview skills as well, which I think is very helpful.
Right, and we had that last year.
Yes.
And that was very well attended also.
Had a lot of good feedback on that. So I think, as you said, you finally get to the point where you get the interview and then you don't really know how that whole part of the process goes. So people will be able to sit in on that. We're also going to do one on LinkedIn and the role that plays in people's job search, or at least finding job openings at this point, because using the internet and how to find a job, that has all evolved too.
That's a great tool for people to use, and a lot of people don't even know it's out there.
Right.
But employers know it's out there.
Right. Yeah, so we'll have actually a local resident who's in that industry has volunteered to do that seminar for us, so I think that'll be helpful. A seminar we're going to have this year for the first time is a presentation on the National Career Readiness Certification process, and that's something kind of new on the field that some employers are starting to look for, and it's similar to ACT testing or whatever talks, my understanding of it anyway, and I'm going to sit in on it so I learn more about it as well. But I've heard a lot of employers kind of talk about it, and we thought that if we can empower the job seekers with yet another tool that they can add to their resume or take away any concern that a possible employer would have, that, well, do they have their basic math skills, and do they have their English, and how are those skills? And if they have that certificate, then they don't need to be concerned about that. So I think that'll be a nice addition this year and something a little different.
I think that will be well attended. And we do evaluation about the job fair itself. So we're always looking for that feedback from the people who attend to see how we can make it better, because we're always looking to improve. This is our second annual.
Right.
I'm sure there'll be a third one. So we want to hear from people what they thought about it, what topics they want to hear about,
Right.
what's important to them.
Right, and I think that's a great point. The other thing that we're going to do this year for the first time is we're going to bring in a panel discussion to kind of wrap up the day on careers in the military, and we're going to have representatives there from all the different branches to kind of talk about what's happening in the military, what they have to offer from an education standpoint or assistance with education in addition to the actual jobs themselves. So I think it'll be interesting to see how many people are interested in sitting in on that session.
Right. With all the different activities going on that day, conceivably somebody could be here the whole day from
Right.
9 to 2.
Right, and they can go back and forth from the library over here. And the part of it that's going to be here at the Village Hall is the company booths. And we're really excited about a lot of the companies that are going to be joining us this year.
I understand there's over 40.
Over 40 different companies that will be here looking to hire. We're actually going to make space available this year. If someone wanted to interview someone on the spot, they'll be able to break away from the tables and sit down with a prospective candidate. So I think that will be nice. But we did have people hired last year right here at the job fair.
That is phenomenal. And looking at the list of the employers that are going to be here, it's quite a diverse group. It's from practically every industry that's out there. So there's basically something for everyone.
Right. Yeah, we have a good representation, I think, from the healthcare side. Both the hospitals will be here. Home Helpers is, in-home healthcare. Alden, which does assisted and independent living. Then we have a whole group of people from, I guess I'd say more the retail side that will be here. We have a nice representation from the financial side. Some of the banks will be here, the insurance companies. We have Mariano's Fresh Market. We were real excited that they were going to be here, with their new store opening in Frankfurt. So I think it's very diverse. And all the companies that are participating are all listed on the flyer, which is on the Village's website. So if people want to kind of look at who's coming, they'll be able to see that ahead of time. So
Sounds great. Looking forward to it.
I know it's going to be a busy day for us, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So,
Yes, it is.
yeah.
We'll put our walking shoes on
Yeah, we
because
will.
we'll be doing a lot that
Yeah,
day.
so
But we're
thanks-
looking forward.
Yeah, and thanks again so much for your conviction in trying to help with this 2W. It's, I can do the planning part, but I don't have the HR background, so having your expertise at the table has really been a help with this
My
whole
pleasure.
thing.
It's extremely rewarding.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Thank you.
So, and New Lenox, please, if you or someone you know, your neighbors, friends, family are looking for a job, please tell them to come to the Job and Resource Fair on Friday, September 13th at the Village Hall and the library from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.